Hello and welcome to StudyIQ. Let's begin with the PIB analysis for 6th of July 2017 in English language. If you want to prepare for UPSC, then we have prepared a great pen drive course which has 100% coverage of the syllabus in the form of videos. 7291059476 is the number and everything of pre and mains is covered in the pen drive course. Now I usually ask you a question. Today I'll start right in the beginning of the video. So this is an old photo from 2008 when Mumbai blast took place, 26/11, and this boy was only 2 years old then. 9 years after, now he is 11 years old. Can you name this small child? And PM Modi met him along with the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. And his parents were killed, but somehow he was saved in the 2008 Mumbai blast. Write his name. Don't ask your friends. If you know, write. If not, leave it. So let's begin. So yesterday I told you that President of India addressed the annual convocation of Indian Institute of Science. Now Indian Institute of Science was established in the year 1909. So it is 108 years old and it was started as a public-private partnership between three stakeholders. One is the Government of India, one is Jamsetji Tata, and third is the Maharaja of Mysuru. And it is India's best university. If you see the national institutional rankings, so in 2016 and 2017, it is ranked as India's best university. Its status has been confirmed by the national institutional rankings. If you see the top 200 universities in the QS ranking, that is the Quad Quereli Simons ranking, it is third highest ranked Indian institute after IIT Delhi and IIT Mumbai. And President said that the number of universities has increased to 760 in India and the number of colleges has been increased to 38,500. He said that there are two bottlenecks, that is there are two constraints. One is the resource constraints and lack of resources and lack of quality teachers that is hampering India's progress in the education sector. Now today I will cover about Prime Minister Modi's Israel trip and I will continue the coverage tomorrow. Tomorrow I will cover the MOUs and which were signed in detail and the general analysis. Today the news is a lot. So therefore today I will focus more on the giving out of the news rather than analysis. Today there is no essay question also. Now one important news is that from tomorrow onwards we are starting PIB MCQ. That will be a separate video. So as soon as Prime Minister Modi landed in Israel, he was greeted by the 9th Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu's party name is Likud, which is called Likud National Liberal Movement. It is a right-wing political party very similar to the Bharatiya Janata Party which we have in India. It is also right of the center. And he said, "Aapka swagat hai mere dost," in Hindi, which means welcome my friend. Now Pradhan Mantri Modi is the first ever Indian Prime Minister to visit Israel in the 70 years of India's independence history. And right after his reaching of Israel, he went to Danziger flower farm. Danziger flower farm he went because Israel is a master in agriculture. So there was focus on agriculture and PM took active interest in the agricultural technology that Israel has to offer. And on this occasion to honor Prime Minister Narendra Modi, there was a flower which is called chrysanthemum and this is the flower. It is a fast growing flower and we call in Hindi Gul Daudi fool or flower. This was named Modi to honor Prime Minister Modi. Now on the insistence of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister Modi also visited the tomb of Theodore Herzl. So Theodore Herzl Theodore Herzl was the first person, one of the first persons who started a movement for creation of Israel. In fact, he promoted Jewish migration to Palestine in an effort to form a Jewish state. Now you know that in Israel most of the people who live are Jews, it's a separate religion, and then Israel was formed in 1948 because of his efforts, but he had died 40 years before the creation of Israel. Still he is called father of the state of Israel. And he was the first president of World Zionist Organization, and because of his efforts, Israel came into being in 1948. So he's a very important person and Narendra Modi visited his tomb. Narendra Modi also visited Yad Vashem. It's a World Holocaust Remembrance Center. So Holocaust we say when the Jews were killed. More than 7 million Jews were killed by the Nazis of Germany and various other fascist governments. And this Yad Vashem is a commemorative center. It's a remembrance center for those who lost their lives. and Narendra Modi visited this center also. It is located in Mount Herzl, which is in western Jerusalem. And Narendra Modi met Israel's leader of opposition also, Mr. Isaac Herzog. Now the Labour Party, which is also one of the opposition parties in Israel, is quite bullish about their chances in the next elections because Benjamin Netanyahu's popularity is decreasing. And I will cover a lot of information through tweets because that makes it interesting and less boring. So Narendra Modi said that, you know, there are 12 Israeli people who have won the Nobel Prize thus far. And this shows that Israel is really a front leader. It is right there at the top when it comes to innovation. These are all the people who have won Nobel Prize, and they are all Israelis. So you can see a lot of Nobel Prize in chemistry, so this shows innovation. And also one important person here is Shimon Peres. Shimon Peres was the president before Reuven Rivlin. Reuven Rivlin is right now the president of Israel, but Shimon Peres was a Nobel Peace Prize winner because of his efforts to have peace talks with the Middle Eastern countries, and also he was a very charismatic leader. He was the president. Please note that in Israel, the real executive head is the prime minister, just like we have in India. In India, the president is only a ceremonial position, not the real executive head. Now, Pradhan Mantri Modi also said that we are taking huge steps when it comes to ease of doing business. In fact, today, just few hours back, he met all the important CEOs of Israeli companies, and again, he is posturing India as a manufacturing hub, as a digital strong house, stalwart, and also as an economic powerhouse. So he is inviting various industries to come and manufacture in India. So he said that environmental clearance, earlier it used to take 600 days, and now we have reduced it to only 6 months, that is 180 days, and in the future it might be reduced even more. Then he also said that there are more than 600 skill development centers which have been opened in the country, and Indian Institute of Skills has also been established to further the skill quotient of our youth. And he also said some important things, like for example, earlier it was very difficult to obtain OCI card. Now why do foreigners, Indian origin foreigners, they want OCI card? OCI means Overseas Citizen of India, because there are a lot of benefits of OCI card. Like for example, you can live in India, you can have lifetime visa, you don't have to get police clearances, you can buy property, you can, there are various kinds of benefits. For example, if you visit any wildlife sanctuary, you visit any heritage, you don't have to pay extra, that is, you don't have to pay foreigner fee. There are various benefits associated with the OCI card. And earlier, those Israelis who had completed their compulsory army service, they were not eligible for the OCI card. But Narendra Modi said that those Israelis, those Indian origin Israelis who are staying in Israel, the Jewish community, Indian Jewish community in Israel, they will also get OCI card even if they have completed compulsory army service. So he has made it very, very easy, and in fact the Jewish community, Indian Jewish community which is residing in Israel will get OCI card now. This was a big announcement. Another thing is that Narendra Modi was also keen to meet Pravasi Bharatiya Samman holders, that is those NRIs, Indians who have won the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman. So the first Israeli person of Indian origin to win this award was Mr. Eliyahu Bazalal. He is a renowned agriculturist, and he met Narendra Modi. Then Narendra Modi also met Mr. Sheikh Ansari, who is also the winner of Pravasi Bharatiya Samman. He won it in 2011. Now, Pradhan Mantri Modi also visited a very prestigious Israeli museum, and this museum has a synagogue of Cochin Jewish heritage. So synagogue is a place where the Jews, they worship, like Christians worship in the church and Hindus worship in temples. Synagogue is a place of worship for the Jewish community. And Kerala has a huge connection with Israel. The Cochin, you have a lot of Jews, and the Cochini Jewish heritage is evident in this museum. Now there was a press statement by Prime Minister during his visit yesterday, and today he said about the MOUs, which I'll cover tomorrow. But what did he say yesterday? He said that Israel, everybody knows, is the world leader in agriculture technology, in water conservation, and we want to have a cooperation, especially with regard to water conservation. And also we need to deepen our relationship in agriculture technology. He also said that the scientists of Israel and India, they should work together so that the Indian scientists can learn agriculture technology from Israeli scientists, and for that there is creation of a bilateral technology innovation fund, which is worth 250 crore rupees almost. It is 40 million USD. And the purpose of this fund is to promote research and development. Also, we will cooperate on terrorism, because Israel has also been a sufferer, so to say, of terrorism, as Modi said. However, that is not true exactly. Israel is also a leader in cyber technology, just like Russia. So we need to do more. And he said that India is one of the worst sufferers of terrorism. Then he also said that he will visit the city of Haifa in Israel. This city is very important because 44 Indian soldiers, they laid down their lives to save this city during the World War I, to liberate this city from the occupation. And he actually did it just few hours back. So this is Narendra Modi paying his homage at the Haifa Indian Cemetery. There were 49 people who saved this city during World War I. 46 were identified, and out of those, 44 were Indian soldiers. Now, the Prime Minister also said that he addressed the Indian community in Tel Aviv, which is called the administrative capital, so to say, although the capital of Israel is Jerusalem. Now, he said that the relationship between India and Israel, the diplomatic relations, are only 25 years old. That is, in 1992, during the Narasimha Rao government, the relations between the two countries started, diplomatic ties. But he said that during the 13th century, the great Indian saint Baba Farid, he had visited Jerusalem and he started his meditation in a cave. So in fact, the relations between India and Israel, they are centuries old, various centuries old. And he also said that there are a lot of commonalities between India and Israel when it comes to festivals. For example, in India, we celebrate Holi, the festival of colors. In Israel, we have Purim. These two festivals are very similar because Holi is celebrated just at the advent of summers, when the winters end, and same is with Purim. So Holi is celebrated just when the rabi crops, they ripe and we harvest them, wheat, etc. And he also said there is a similarity between Diwali and the Israeli festival of Hanukkah. So Hanukkah is called festival of lights, and Diwali we call festival of lights in India. So all these are similarities, cultural similarities. Then he also said that he reaffirmed his intention to double the income of farmers by 2022. This he had said first time in 2016 February rally in Bareilly in UP. But he reaffirmed it that I'm really serious about doubling the farmers' income by 2022. And he also said that if we are to have a second green revolution in India, then we need the partnership with Israel. He also said that Israel will cooperate with India for science, innovation and research, and also for space technology. Total, by the way, there are 7 MOUs that have been signed with Israel. And he also said that apart from OCI cards, which will be given to the Jewish community that is in Israel, Indian Jewish community, he also said that, the OCI cards will be made available to also those who have done compulsory army service, as I said. And the benefits are immense if you have a OCI card. You can have multiple entry in India, multi-purpose lifelong visa to visit India. Then you are exempted from reporting to police authorities, visiting embassies again and again. You also have similarity with NRI. You gain parity with NRIs in financial, economic and educational fields. He also said that India will establish a Indian Cultural Center that will be set up in Israel. And there will be a direct flight connectivity between Delhi, Mumbai and Tel Aviv now. He also made a visit to see GAL Mobile. Now, what is GAL Mobile? So, GAL Mobile is basically a vehicle, and it can purify water on the go. So, it has a capacity to purify up to 20,000 liter per day of seawater and up to 80,000 liter per day of brackish or muddy water. So brackish water or muddy water or contaminated river water, and bring it to the World Health Organization standard. And this technology can be very useful for India, like in natural disasters, floods, earthquakes, because that time there is a huge shortage of water. And if you can purify water on the spot, at ground zero, it will be a huge help to the Indians, especially in disaster management. Now, the political editor of The Hindu, he did a lot of criticism of Modi for some reasons by visiting Israel. He said it's not like India needs to cut off its ties with Israel because we are cooperating in agriculture sector, in defense. But he said that we should be very careful in the kind of language that we use. For example, again and again, Modi is saying Israel our best friend, and the same feeling is reciprocated by the Israeli counterpart also. But he said this is dangerous because we should be seen as a country that respects human rights. And if we see India and Israel, there is a huge difference because India gained its independence from the British. That means India was a victim of imperialism. Whereas if you see Israel is an imperialist country that since its formation in 1948, Israel has been encroaching upon the territories of Palestine, upon West Bank, Gaza. So Israel is seen as an imperialist country, and India is a victim of imperialism. So both don't go together. Then another thing is regarding Palestine. India cannot ignore the human rights violations by Israel in Palestine. Millions of people have turned refugees there, and therefore India cannot dehyphenate or disconnect Israel from Palestine. And Modi should have visited Ramallah. Ramallah is like an administrative capital of Palestine, although the capital of Palestine is East Jerusalem. So therefore this was the criticism. He also said that India should not abstain from voting against Israel if at all happens to violate human rights. So India abstained from the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees voting against Israel. And also Israel is seen as an aggressor. It is building settlements in the West Bank area, in the Palestine area, and UN passed a resolution accusing Israelis for the same. So these are some of the issues. If we and also we should not alienate our Muslim community. So Muslims, everybody knows they hate Israel because there are a lot of reasons for that. We'll not go into too much detail. In fact, during the time of Indian independence, we supported Palestine to gain the support of the Muslim community, so that the Congress and Muslim League, they can fight together against the British. Then India cannot become Israel. India cannot imitate the security model that Israel has, because Israel is surrounded by countries which are much weaker than Israel, like the Jordan and these countries, Egypt, etc. But India is surrounded by two nuclear power, Pakistan on the western side and China on the eastern side. So we cannot really behave like Israel and encroach upon the territories of our neighbors. In fact, India must respect the sovereignty of its neighbors. So that is another problem. Israel, we cannot behave like Israel. Israel also does not have nuclear power. India is a nuclear power, so India must behave more responsibly than the Israel. That was also said. This was again a criticism of Israel. Then there were gifts exchanged, and India, from Modi, he gifted this thing to Netanyahu. So what exactly this is? This is like there are copper. It's made of copper. It's a replica of two sets of relics from Kerala, because this is very important in the Jewish history in India. And these are the two copper plates. They are believed to be as old as 9th to 10th century. The first set of copper plate is basically by the Kochini Jews in India, in Kerala, and it is regarded as a grant of hereditary royal privileges and prerogatives by the Hindu king, which was called Chairman Perumal. His original name was Bhaskar Ravi Verma, to the Jewish leader Joseph Rabban. So this is important. And there is a place called Kraganor. This is where Jews enjoyed religious and cultural autonomy for centuries before they moved to Cochin and other places in the Malabar coast in Kerala. Then the second copper plate. There are two copper plates. The second copper plate is believed to be the earliest documentation of the history of Jewish trade with India, which runs centuries. And these plates, they describe the grant of land and tax privileges by the local Hindu ruler to a church and oversight of trade in Kolam, again in Kerala. So Kerala and Israel, there is a huge history. He also gifted to Netanyahu a Torah scroll. This is donated by the Paradesi Jewish community, again in Kerala. And this is dedicated to the Paradesi synagogue, which is there in Kochi. Synagogue is a place of Jewish worship that had been built in 1568. And he also gifted along with that a metal crown, which is again has decorations resembling that of South India. It is like a facsimile of South Indian tradition. Then what was the return gift? So what did Netanyahu gift Indian Prime Minister? He gifted this photo. This is from December 11, 1917, when the Indian soldiers, along with the British, they liberated Jerusalem. Now let's move on to some other news. So there was a 10th session of the India-Jordan Trade and Economic Joint Committee. Jordan is a country, again, it's a neighbor of Israel. You can see here, this is Israel, this is Jordan, this is West Bank, this is Iraq, Saudi Arabia. So neighbor of Saudi Arabia and Israel. It is sandwiches Saudi Arabia and Israel. And Jordan's capital is Amman. It's a country, and we need to boost our economic ties and trade with Jordan. For that, there was the 10th India-Jordan Trade and Economic Joint Committee. So from Indian side, we have our Commerce and Trade Minister, Commerce and Industry Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman. And from their side, their Minister for Industry was there, Yarub Kuda. Then one of the Australian ships, so the Navy of Australia is called Royal Australia Navy. It sent a ship to India. The name of the ship is HMAS Newcastle, and it was accompanied by Australian High Commissioner to India, Miss Harinder Sidhu. She's an Indian. She is an Australian High Commissioner to India. We use the word High Commissioner for Commonwealth countries, and we use the word Ambassador for non-Commonwealth countries. They mean the same. And we are also carrying out the Navy exercises with Australia. That is a part of the Act East policy. Earlier we had the Look East policy, then we followed the Act East policy. That is, the countries that are to the east of India like Japan, Australia, we should pay attention to the east. And that is why we started naval exercises with, maritime exercise with Australia, which is called AUS Index. It is a bilateral maritime exercise carried out by the Navy. Maritime means something pertaining to the oceans. So 3 of Indian ships, so INS Jyoti, INS Shivalik and INS Kamorta, they participated in this AUS Index 17. Now our Union Minister of State for Home Affairs, his name is Hansraj Gangaram Ahir. He said that Centre will provide a fund which is called Police Modernization Fund for enhancing the security in Kerala. Because in Kerala we have some terror issues now, as a lot of youth are attracted towards ISIS. In fact, 22 people from Kerala, they were supposed to be joining ISIS, but their attempts were thwarted. And Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, these 3 South Indian states have Maoist presence. So there is a fear of the radical youth, and police needs to be modernized, especially because Kerala also has a coastline. So we need to protect the coastline also, and for that Centre will give the money, and that money will be invested in buying more vehicles and patrol boats so that there can be patrolling done at the coast. Now BRICS countries, they had a meeting regarding education, how to further education, how to do mutual cooperation in education. That is, Beijing Declaration of Education was adopted. So this meeting was in Beijing, China, and it was the 5th meeting of the education ministers of BRICS. So our education minister is, basically our education department is under HRD, Human Resource Development, and our minister is Prakash Javadekar. So this meeting was on 5th of July, and together all the countries adopted Beijing Declaration on Education. And before this there have been 3 declarations. One was the Brasilia Declaration, it was in the capital of Brazil, Brasilia, in March 2nd, 2015. Moscow Declaration, which was in Russia in November 18, 2015, and New Delhi Declaration last year on September 30, 2016. So I told you about the Sustainable Development Goals in the first video. So from 2000 to 2015, for 15 years we had the Millennium Development Goals, which were 8 in number. Then we adopted 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and this is Agenda 2030. So we get another 15 years for Sustainable Development Goals now. And one of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is called Sustainable Development Goal 4, it is called SDG 4 by the United Nations. It is what? That we need to do more in education. We need to have equal opportunities for all in learning, and also equitable quality education. So all these countries, they want to cooperate for education enhancement. And this is how they want to do it. So they want to support the BRICS Network University, which will collaborate for education and research. They want to exchange education through language education. That is, the language of the BRICS countries will be taught in each, mutually. And multilingualism will be promoted. So India will teach Russian, Chinese, etc. BRICS is an association of 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And we will teach each other's language. We will exchange teachers. We will encourage more teachers to join in education. We will make our academics more professional. And we will cooperate in the field of technical and vocational education and training. We will also do more things like we will promote winter and summer camps and student exchange program. We will also provide scholarship to each other's youth. Education research we will cooperate in, and we will spread awareness about the Sustainable Development Goal 4, which is about Education 2030. Sustainable Development Goal Agenda 2030. Then we will also participate in the 3rd BRICS annual conference, which will be taking place in 2018, Cape Town, South Africa, and BRICS Global Business and Innovation Conference, which will take place in St. Petersburg in Russia in September 2017. Now I told you yesterday that our Agriculture Minister Radha Mohan Singh, he said that there are mechanisms in place for enhancing the farmer's productivity, and 2 schemes are paramount for that: eNAM, which is the Electronic National Agriculture Market, and Soil Health Card. So he said that if we are to double the income of farmers by 2022, then there are 3 pillars. First pillar is that the cost of production of farmers should be reduced and productivity should be increased. Second pillar is that the farmers, they need to diversify. So basically the farmers, they should not only grow crops, but they should also undertake animal husbandry, poultry, goat rearing, beekeeping, that is apiculture, and timber plantation. That will increase the disposable income of farmers. And the third and the most important pillar is that farmers, they should be able to sell the produce in the local market. For that, farmers should get regulated markets close to their farms. So these are the 3 pillars for doubling the income of farmers. This you can mention in your essay. So in soil health card, what was the soil health card? See, as the name says, soil health. So the health of the soil, the quality and quantity of the soil, it will be assessed on 12 parameters, and then farmers will be given a report. So if the soil lacks, for example, nitrogen, it will be mentioned on the card, so that the farmer can then use nitrogen fertilizer. So this will promote the use of fertilizer. So soil health card was a flagship scheme of the government to promote the use of fertilizer. And for fertilizer, we had a grey revolution in India, and we want to basically tell the farmer about what is the status of the soil, so that farmer can rectify the error which is there in the soil using the fertilizer. And the target was, this scheme was launched in February 2015. The target was that in every 2 years we will we will hand over 12 crore soil health card. Now they have only done 9 crore and 2 years are over. So they have missed their target by a whopping 3 crore. And the first cycle is expected to complete by 2017. The second scheme was ENAM, which is basically what you will do is you will you will put all the agriculture markets, which are called mandi in Hindi, on the online portal. So what this will enable is farmers will get real-time updates. There will be a transparent market, there will be an integrated market, and all India will be converted into one market. And also each agriculture market will be provided an assistance of 30 lakh rupees, which in this budget of 2017-18 was upgraded to 75 lakh rupees, so that the mandis or the agriculture markets, they can boost their infrastructure. And another important thing is that the farmers, their produce, its quality is checked. Only then they can do the electronic bidding. So quality is very, very important. And also the main objective is farmers should get access to the prices of the different agriculture markets, so that whichever market provides them the best return, they can go and sell their produce in that market. And our agriculture minister said that we have also taken a very important decision, new model, which is called Agriculture Produce Market Committee Act. And this was inaugurated on 24th of April 2017. This is basically that now there is a facility to produce private market yards. So the farmers, they can sell directly to consumer. That is called the farmer consumer market. Now our labor minister, his name is Shri Bandaru Dattatreya. He is the Minister of State for Labor and Employment. He said that there is an agreement of the Employees Provident Fund Organization with public and private sector banks now. So earlier what used to happen, Employees Provident Fund Organization, they only had a collaboration with the public sector banks. But now for the first time, EPFO has partnered with the private banks also. So these private banks are ICICI, HDFC, Axis, Kotak Mahindra and Bank of Baroda. They have become partners of Employees Provident Fund Organization. And you very well know that for government employees, Employees Provident Fund Organization is very, very important because of Provident Fund. So EPFO is one of the largest social security providers in India with a corpus of 12 lakh crore rupees. 12 lakh crore rupees. And it has a contributing membership of 4.5 crore and 20 crore accounts are serviced by EPFO annually. And EPFO settles around 1.16 crore claims in 1 year and around 54,000 crore rupees annually. That is how important EPFO is to government employees. And so now, till now, there were only these banks. They were all public sector banks, State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, Allahabad Bank, Indian Bank and Union Bank of India, which had the mechanism of collection of EPF contribution from the employees. But now it will be done through other banks also. So in the historic decision, this was the 216th meeting of the CBT, that is the Central Board of Trustees in EPFO. And it was held on 30th of March. It was decided that the EPFO will now have a collaboration with the private banks also for the first time. And what it will do is, these changes have been made. For example, it will reduce the administrative charges for the employers, online registration of employers, online payment of contributions, online filing of returns, and the housing schemes will be launched for the EPF subscribers, Employee Provident Fund subscribers, those who avail the Provident Fund scheme. Self-declaration for claiming benefits, you don't need to get it attested by government authorities. Online payment will be made through NEFT, can be made now. Online e-passbook facility will be given, and most important, universal account number will be given to all the EPFO subscribers. And our Minister for Minority Affairs, his name is Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi. He's a Minister for Minority Affairs. He said that the Haj Pilgrims, they should not believe the misleading advertisement. And he also said there are only 45,000 Hajj seats which have been allocated by the committee this year. And you want to avail any seat, go to this website, minorityaffair.gov.in and hajj.gov.in. And all these PTOs, there are 569, they will be available on this website. Now there is a Yojana which is called Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, which means you will build roads in the rural area. So especially in these states, these have huge historical deficit of rural roads. Assam, West Bengal, Odisha, Bihar, Jharkhand, MP, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, HP, JK and Uttarakhand. These are the states in India which have very less rural roads. So rural connectivity, we are lagging behind a lot. So in the last 1 year, that is in 2016-17, we built the highest average in the last 7 years, that is 130 kilometers per day. and this was significantly higher than the ones built in the last 3 years of the Congress rule, only 73 kilometers per day. So it was significantly higher, and our transport minister is Nitin Gadkari. And the present financial year, thus far, our target is to construct 57,000 kilometers of rural roads under the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, and the average that is required is 156 kilometers per day. And we will also link 16,600 habitations, places which are not connected by the roads. And out of the 16,600, we have already connected 2,543 areas by roads, which we have already achieved the target, 15.31% of our annual target. So we are going in the right direction. Another thing, most of the roads used to be built in India with bitumen asphalt or concrete. In fact, 50% of our roads were built with concrete only. But now we also need to use non-conventional construction material so that we can reduce waste also, and this material can be used. For example, waste plastic, cold mix, fly ash. Fly ash is also a contributor of cement also and bricks also. Most of the part of cement and bricks is fly ash. Jute, coir geotextile, iron and copper slag, self-filled concrete or paneled cement concrete. These are new building materials that we need to use for building roads. And we also need to adopt green technology in Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Now there were two important apps that were launched by the Ministry of Power. Minister of Coal Power is Piyush Goyal. He is also the Minister for Mining and Renewable Energy. So one is called the Merit app. Merit means merit order dispatch of electricity for rejuvenation of income and transparency. So as the name suggests, this is to increase transparency, and now there is an electronic bidding portal. Through this portal, the people who are engaged in producing electricity, that is the independent power producers, government can buy the electricity from these at a bidding. So there will be no corruption, less corruption, and this has been done for the same. And the merit, the word itself says it, merit order dispatch of electricity for rejuvenation of income and transparency. And because of that, there will be optimum utilization of coal, and the country is expected to save 20,000 crore rupees in the next 5 years because of judicious usage of coal. And that's what he said, that and there'll be another benefits also. Like for example, this app, Merit app, will provide information about daily state-wise marginal variable cost of all the generators, which will be useful for the independent producers of electricity. Then daily source-wise power purchases of respective states. All the information has been made digital now. It will provide information about variable cost, energy volume, purchase prices, etc. And it will also give, this app, Merit app, will also give information regarding the reasons for deviation from merit. Like for example, must-run conditions, transmission constraint, etc. So this was the video today. Today I did not cover any essay, but tomorrow I will. And today there was a lot of information on PIB website. So I made sure that I cover all the information first. And I did not cover the essay because otherwise the length of the video could have gone to maybe 50 minutes. That would have been a deterrent for you to watch the video. So I hope you are enjoying my daily coverage of PIB. Please share the video with your friends and spread the word. Thank you so much.